Hello everyone, good morning, good day or good evening, depending on where you are and how you choose to live your life. I'm going to be doing another film review of Megan is Missing, which is a horror film. It's more of a cautionary tale story than a horror film than anything. It's kind of difficult to class this as horror. It obviously is very disturbing, but it's the kind of thing that a lot of people should see. Parents who have kids who have too much activity on the internet, give out too much personal info over the internet and stuff like that. Essentially the plot is basically a girl called Megan plays around on the internet a great deal, chatting online with her friends, or with her friend Amy, who's her best friend, who's the complete opposite to her, and she doesn't get on at all with her mom, they don't get on at all. Her mom treats her like shit. Megan is very promiscuous and outgoing and stuff. Amy is very shy, retiring, and gets bullied at school and all that stuff. And they both live complete opposite lives, and they kind of seek solace in each other. Tough one to review this because first time I saw it, I was pissed off. I was really angry. I thought it was a piece of shit. I was angry at how the subject matter was handled. There were a few things I didn't quite pick up on. It's not by no means perfectly well done. There's still a few particular problems with the film, such as some of the acting. It's a bit, it is almost a little bit like Last House on the Left, of the modern age kind of thing, with Last House on the Left was a cautionary tale. I Spit on Your Grave, I think, a little bit. Irreversible was definitely a cautionary tale. This is nowhere near as good as Irreversible. That was definitely a cautionary tale of, Monica Bellucci's character not, being careful. Obviously just be careful, where you go late at night in case something really fucked up happens. Megan is Missing is another one. It's shot on a really low budget, which kind of helps a little bit, but at the same time doesn't, because they're chatting on Skype and it looks as if it's being shot on a HD camcorder. They didn't bother to try to copy the way Skype calls are. If they had done that, it would have been way more effective, in my opinion, if they had done that. You know where it's going to lead to, about the consequence and all that sort of stuff. It's kind of based on a true story. I turned on the audio commentary on for a little bit for the director, and he said that the reason he chose to have two young girls play focus it on two young girls instead of boys, because he said, you mentioned that it's more likely that there's this high percentage of young Hispanic boys that go missing and get kidnapped than it is girls. He was kind of playing along with, because there's I wouldn't call it satire, but like a critique of these kind of TV shows that sort of sensationalise these particular things that are a little bit sick, you know, that happen in America. And he does sort of like a spin-off of that. I wasn't quite understanding of that sort of thing, being as I live in the UK, because we don't really have stuff like that over here that much. As much as in the US, you know, like I mean, obviously we have dramatisations and stuff, but obviously it's they to do for higher ratings and everything. Yeah, it's very good, very effective, very uncomfortable. After I finished watching it, I kind of felt very dead inside. But I think it pushes the warning too far. It really pushes it too far. I mean, if there's going to be any parents out there, and they show this to their kids, and they're gonna, you know, they watch this film and then they show it to their kids to say, you know, be careful what you do online. The kids are just going to be fucking terrified of the internet. They're going to be even scared of going on things like Wikipedia to search up, you know, anything to do with their homework or anything like that. You know, they're going to be terrified of the internet. They're going to be. It pushes the message too strong. That's my issue with it. Pushes the message too strong. It could have been a bit more subtle, a bit more ambitious, if they touched upon a couple of other things. Instead, it was basically just those two girls, which is effective, but if they touched on a couple of other things, but, you know, bearing in mind the budget and all that sort of stuff. The ending was I've still got mixed feelings about the ending, especially the very last scene, which seems to go on forever. I mean, in many ways, you know, it's like less is more kind of thing, but I mean, maybe it's sort of done that, it's like that for a reason kind of thing, you know, like in the Monica Bellucci rape sequence in Irreversible, where it makes it more powerful. But, you know, in some cases it's like, you know, less is more sometimes, you know. There was one scene, one particular part of the film that shocked the living crap out of me. I was sitting there and they showed some particular image of something and I was like, fuck me, man. You know, just jumped out of my seat. I was like, shit. That was really shocking. That was one of the most shocking parts and one of the most effective parts of the film. Like I said, the acting is kind of average. It's okay. I mean, for the girl's age and stuff, it was alright. But this is a difficult film, like I said, to review. You know, would I really recommend watching it? If you want to be scared of stepping out your front door and going online completely, then probably yeah, because it pushes the message too far, I think. But if, you know, you want to see something about the kind of stuff that happens in this day and age with young kids, the kind of stuff that happens when they go on the internet, if they give out too much information and everything. I mean, there's even a special feature on here, which is with Mark Klaas, who basically, it was based on his daughter, on his life kind of thing of what happened, and to get the message out there. But like I said, message is a bit too strong. I think, you know, maybe they might have needed a bit more money to make it, to balance things out a bit. The ending, the last 22 minutes are really shocking, but there was, I mean, I won't explain too much about it, but there was a couple of things that pissed me, that I just thought was just completely just executed in a very bad way and acted in a really bad way. I won't go into that particular scene, but, you know, Yeah, I won't go into that scene. But for the most part, it's a pretty important film, I think. Certainly woke me up, and you know, I don't have kids, but if I did, my immediate reaction would be, you know, get the fuck off the internet. Don't go on the internet at all, even if it's for schoolwork. Get away from it, because the message is too strong. And I'd be scared of probably sending them to school as well. You know, that's kind of how far it goes. But I'm not going to rate this. I don't think it's a rateable thing. That's not saying it's bad. That's not saying it's good. It's an important story that everyone needs to see. It's a fairly important film, but it really does miss out on that touch of being compulsive, important viewing. Because, yeah, it kind of lacks subtlety. I mean, you know, The Last House on the Left, you know, the message was, you know, don't approach strangers in the street and ask them for drugs. The message in this is don't speak to strangers on the internet, but then again, they spend all their time on the internet talking to strangers, not doing anything else. That's the major problem that I have with it. So, review's a bit long, and I'll cut it off now, and take care, guys, and yeah, check it out. I'll leave a link to the trailer. Let me know what you think. See you later. By the way, I'm not wearing lipstick, my lips are sore.